before we even start this show, there's no biasness in this thing tonight, There's no biasness in this thing. And when I say that, what I mean is, of course we understand the situation that has taken place. Of course we understand that. But we just need to address this the real way, people. We gotta address this the real way, so... They wanna look at the forest. They couldn't even afford.
Follow us on Instagram at Express Truth Show. Yes,
people, it's the Express Truth Show, making Thursdays great again. We're back up in the building, man, in glorious 4K right now. We're in the building, man. The Express Truth Show, making Thursdays great again. There was only one way to discuss this, and that was live. We're not going to start just right. Yeah, let's do our introductions and all of that. So if you're in the building, I'm going to keep saying this, people, because, you hit the like button, man. See what I mean? Hit the like button. We're going to break this thing down totally today. Totally. See what I mean? And not only will we break it down, we will then open up the phone lines if anybody wants to call in. I'm talking all them guys on Twitter. I'm talking everyone who's been, saying what they're saying and whatnot. What we're not going to do, I'm going to make it clear from now, people. What we're not here to do is bash anybody. All right, we're not here to bash anyone. All right, so let's bear that in mind. We're going to keep this thing respectful because at the end of the day, this is a sister of the community and we have to understand that, there's different perspectives on this thing. So we have to bear that in mind before we start the discussion. There's different perspectives on this situation. All right. So we're going to get into it in a minute. But before we do that, well, matter of fact, Stephen's not in the building today, people. He sends his apologies. He's not in the building. He sends his apologies, but I know he's locked in. So Stephen, I hope you got some hot lemon and honey or whatever it is that you do, Stephen. Big up yourself, man. See what I mean? So today we took it a bit retro today. For the old school people, you know what time it is. Noble, what you say, man? Come straight through, man. Come straight through. What you saying, man? Real talk. Hold on. Noble, apologies. That all has to start again. They couldn't hear ya. People, that's my fault. Noble, go to. Apologies. go to.
Paradise, righteous siblings, glad to be back up in the place. The devil's throwing a whole heap of banana peels, but man is not slipping.
Yeah, man. Real talk. So, people, yeah, we've sorted that out now, people. Apologies, man. Apologies. So, we're going to go right into this thing. First of all, everyone who's here in the building, yeah, big up yourself. Matter of fact, someone just tell me if Noble's good now.
Hey man, dash your one in the chat.
Oh, we good. Harry Gold, big up yourself. So, all right. We're going to go straight into this thing. And like I said, we are going to keep this thing respectful. We're not here to bash the sister, but we are here to have a discussion because this situation is, I feel like there's a lot of, what would you call it, Noble? I know you said banana peel, but there's a lot of misdirection going on.
It's a lot of theatre. There's some theatre being sort of presented to the mass populi two different kind of understandings, understandings and overstandings of this situation. The first part of what they put out in the media was like raw, and then as the days are going by and we're peeping it, we're like, okay, let's see what he do.
Real talk. So all right, let's get into what we're here to talk about, people. Like I said, this will be the realest breakdown. So the sister, I don't want to miss, these African names that I can't pronounce. I'm gonna keep it real.
Fulani, I believe.
Go say that again, Noble, please.
Ngozi Fulani.
Ngozi Fulani. All right, we're not gonna butcher her name. That's why I made Noble say it properly. So Ngozi Fulani is a active sister within the community. I believe in London somewhere. See what I'm saying? Now, she's the head of a domestic violence charity, and she went to Buckingham Palace. Now, while she was in Buckingham Palace, a lady who works in Buckingham Palace, whatever the lady's position was.
Lady Susan Hossey.
All right, you got your thing. No, but that was coming with the real things. So, she's inside the palace now. She's got her beautiful locks, her head wrap, and her African attire, which is a beautiful thing. She goes inside of the palace. While she's in the palace, a lady approaches her. This lady asks the sister, "Where are you from?" I believe the sister gave her an answer of where she's from. The lady then proceeded to. The sister told her where she's from in the UK. The lady then said, "No, where are you really from?" Meaning, where did your people come from to get to the UK? The lady didn't answer for whatever reason, and the woman was being very persistent, even put her hands on the sister and all that type of thing. But before we start, I just want people to know there's two things we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss the question, and then we're going to discuss the way the question was asked. We have to isolate the two. See what I'm saying? Now, when we get onto the show, and you've heard me say a lot of times that we're supposed to be on code, I don't mean that, we're supposed to... This is even difficult because I don't want to say nothing without insulting the sister. But I'm just going to start from here. My thing is this. Thank God I've traveled the world. I've been to most places that I've wanted to go to. And one of the most frequent questions I personally get wherever I go, this is what they'll always say. Where you from? And I'll say, now this is me. I'll say, I live in England, a place called Birmingham, but my people are from Jamaica. That's how it always goes. Now, if I don't say that my people are from Jamaica, 99.9% of the time, the person asking me the question will say, "Nah, where are you really from?" That's what the person will say. Where are you really from? Now, me, myself, have never, ever found fault with that question. Now, the reason I ain't found fault with that question is because I ain't claiming nobody's thing. And that's on both sides. If I go yard, I just come back from yard a couple months ago. If I go yard, people will call you a foreigner. Doesn't matter what you do. They'll call you a foreigner. You could go out there and give out money like it was flyers. You're a foreigner to those people. In the UK, it doesn't matter how much you want to say whatever you want to say. There are certain people that will never look at you like you're from here because you are an immigrant. Let's keep it real. I don't think we should be ashamed of that. I don't think we should be ashamed of that. Now, I'm not saying the sister's ashamed, clearly not, because she's gone into the palace dressed a certain way. But I don't have to go into detail when I tell you that I've been in certain circles, especially in the last year. And within those circles, yeah, I know, because let me address some of the Pan-Africanists as well. Big them up, I love yous. But some members, some of yous, think that because you got locks and you might throw on the red, green, and gold, the shiki, or you might throw on the kufi or whatever it is, that a next man who don't present himself like that don't really have the knowledge you've got. That's not the facts. That's not the facts. First of all, I know a lot of sisters who dress like that, beautiful sisters. But if I'm going into the people's place dressed like that, they're going to ask me questions. That's how the place is. When you're dealing with Buckingham Palace, you know, that is like I said, we're on a public platform right now, so we're not going to say nothing stupid. Patreon for that. But when you go into places like that, people already have their thoughts of you. It doesn't matter how much money that lady made. It don't matter how much good work you've done in the community. When you go to places like that, there's people who have preconceived notions of who you are. Naturally, an elderly white woman like that will ask you that question. They will ask you that question. These are the facts. They will ask you that question, but what this does is it creates division in the community. Because on Twitter, people are being called coons that you can't address them as that. Because a man disagrees. You can't address a man as a coon because he disagrees. The manner in which the question was asked, that's a different story. And if that lady done that, then yes, of course. But I've said this on the show before, stop making Meghan Markle draw yous out. Meghan Markle's not black. Sorry, people, she's not. She ain't black. Go and watch her documentary on Netflix right now. Stop making this lady draw yous into her drama. Don't make her do that, because that's what she's doing. I got a lot to say, but Noble, come through, please.
You said a lot to pardon self, to lay the table, and you bring nothing but facts in that respect. Again, my traveling experience and interacting with people from many different nations, that's one of the first things, you know, the first kind of conversations you get to have. Like, you know, I know you're in England, or, you know, you got that red passport. Where you from? What's your lineage? What is your heritage? The same way I ask people the same said thing. Like, where are you from? No. Where's your family from? Like, where do you originally come from? I know we're here, there in England, but like, what it do? I am interested in those kind of things. But as you say, it's the manner in which that conversation takes place. Now, initially, I'm hearing all kind of reports on the radio, on Sky, and this and that. A 5 to 10 minute conversation just around where she comes from, almost harassing the woman. She left emotionally distressed. I'm thinking, raw, you know, that's strange. And I'm looking at imagery and I'm saying, okay, Sushtin's got locks. You know, she's dressing in African sort of attire and stuff. You know, she's embracing the culture and thing. And she's in Buckingham Palace. Okay. Like, why was she there? That's one of the big questions I had. Like, what was she doing at the palace? So I'm doing the knowledge. Okay, is it 16 or 13 days amnesty kind of thing that they're promoting for non-violence? Oh, that's the reason she's there. Who is this woman who's quizzing her? Oh, the lady in waiting to the late queen. So she's been here for quite some time. Very old school generation, you know, very different way of thinking and stuff. The way she might phrase things are going to be very different. And then I'm saying, oh, let me just move your hair out of the way so I can examine your name badge. That is very that's very getting into someone's personal space. Now again, some people feel entitled where they can. Now this goes, you know, not just white people. This is Asian people. This is people in general who don't know people's personal space and boundaries. That was the first mistake this lady Hussey made by touching her hair and moving it out of the way. That's the excuse that was given. But you do know that people have fascination with that nine ether woolly curly hair that we possess, and do love to touch it at the most inappropriate times. So that there's so many different dynamics in regards to, again, her being there, her choice of attire to attend such an event. Now, again, some people will be like, no, represent the culture, blah, 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 blah. Okay, times, places, what is it actually representing if you're going to, dress in that attire? And then, again, the questioning. How did she question the young elder? Was it malicious? Was it racist? Because for days now, well, we've just got, and as you mentioned, Twitter, which is toxic, Mark. Toxic.
But let me jump in there quickly because you're on a roll and I hear you. But a lot of men on Twitter are debunking this thing, going back into her old tweets where she was really upset by. I'm not going to say this quickly before I pass it back to you, but the sister was very vocal about the mistreatment of Meghan Markle, who I said at the time, stop making this woman draw you out, man. This woman is not of the community, not for the community. Everyone's jumping in, saying this, that. Sisters are going on Good Morning Britain, saying all this stuff. Has Meghan Markle said anything in defense of this sister? No, but talk to me. Remember, the sister's gone into the palace knowing that, or believing that Meghan Markle was mistreated. And Meghan Markle, to me, looks like she looks like she could pass for Princess Diana's niece or cousin or sister or something like that. And I'm saying Meghan Markle was able to rile up a lot of like these strong sisters within our community who were going and speaking in her defense. This sister's gone to the palace and believes that she's been disrespected. Has Meghan Markle came out and said anything about this? If I'm lying, someone's correct me in the chat. But has Meghan Markle come out and said anything in defense of this sister?
I have not seen.
Carry on, Noble. Carry on, Noble.
Peep. I ain't heard a peep. I heard nothing in that respect. I had no defense. I had no statement. As you say, all we have seen is theater and people digging into Twitter, the previous tweets. They're going into her financial backgrounds in regards to how much money she's made and what she's declared and all this thing. She's, in essence, made herself a target. The people are calling her a race baiter. It's, why are you wearing West African cloth when you're from the Caribbean? Why have you got a West African name? And the proper going in on the woman. Like, wait a minute. We all interpret things very differently. We 5 people could be outside, witness something, and have 5 very different types of stories, or we'll have more detail here, more detail here. So if she felt that way, that's how she felt. Now, the actions after in regards to, making it public, again, there's a question, or there's a way that could have been done in a better way to have had this conversation, I would say, maybe. Because again, all that's happening is we're fracturing our community with people who are saying, no, well, she could have articulated herself a little better and reduced this inquisition, quote unquote, and just been like, yeah, I'm in London. My people, them from Jamaica. Is that what you mean? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Yeah, cool. you know, I know nothing big.
I answer the question for them, Noble. If I go anywhere, yeah, I answer the question for them. And listen, people, some of you ain't traveled. That's why you don't understand the reality. But if you land anywhere in Asia, there's not one man that's gonna call you English. Trust me, I know this. There's not one man who's gonna call you English if you land anywhere outside of the UK. A man's gonna say, where you from? Oh, I'm from England. No, where are you really from? There's no offense. There's no disrespect. The way it was said, I wasn't there. See what I'm saying? But the way it was said, the way if she was touching her like, you don't do all of that. You don't do all of that. I'm totally against that. And definitely, you know, and that lady, she ain't somebody who ain't got no mouth. She's got a mouth. I've watched her talking. All she had to say to that woman is, listen, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Tell her straight. But I'm just fed up of seeing us like being victims, and I feel like the media's in on this too. I'm keeping it real. We're being victims, and what we're doing is getting drawn out time after time for stupidity. We're getting drawn out time after time. Some of us, there's man that I'll never deal with again based off of that Kanye stuff. Facts. There's man I'll never chat to again because I know that their mind can be easily swayed in anything. So from I see that, if a man ain't looking, it's not about talking, you know. Because some people, there's some of the community are so toxic. I don't need no friends or nothing. I don't need to stay cool with no one. I don't care about none of this. I'm saying there's a lot of toxicity in the community. There is. We're focusing on the wrong things. There's no way. Yeah, we should be focused on, this is a silly argument. Argument. And, you know, it's dividing us. Because now you got men who are saying we're not on code. Then you got other men who they don't care what you do. As long as you're back, man don't care. There's people who will call people that they see in certain positions sell out without looking at how the person's living. But a man who's showing you how they're living, his woman's not of the culture. His kids is not of the culture. Not only does he's of the culture, a man can't question nothing. I can talk on it right now. My mum's in Accra. Right now. Right this second now as we talk, my mum's in Accra dealing with water aid and all them kind of things. You see what I'm saying? We're just getting drawn into silly arguments, and then we're falling out amongst each other about these same arguments.
Talk.
We get, this question is so, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, you know. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, you know. I was somewhere, I'm not even gonna say where it was, but it was a very, very big company. I was somewhere, and I'll never ever mention these things, but I was somewhere, and there was 2 English people while I was in this place, and these 2 English people made a bet to see where I came from. They made a bet. They made a bet between each other of where I came from. And then eventually one of them asked me and said, yo, where you from? And I said, I just told them, innit? I said, yo, I live here, obviously, but my people are from Jamaica, innit? And listen, I got white bedrooms who are probably watching this right now. They can jump in the chat and tell you. I always talk about back home. That's how I talk about it. Back home. When our people was back home. One day, hopefully, we can do this back home. That's how I talk. There's no insult in that. When that lady come over to me, I would have just moved my badge and showed her the African name. Proudly. Because if I'm dressing like that, I must be proud. I'm a liar, Noble. If I'm dressing like that, I must be proud. Now, the woman, the elder white lady who kept pushing this and touching the system and all that, I'm not with that. I'm not with that, so don't ever get it twisted. We will not tolerate any kind of disrespect. But when we're in work, when we're in school, when we're in college, we have to know these things. I've got a daughter. I'm raising a black daughter right now. And if she's in school, she knows it's a zero tolerance policy for anyone to touch her hair. She knows these things because I've taught her these things. She knows the things to say. She knows the things to do if anyone gets in her space like that. The victim mentality I'm not with. Because if you believe that, now that's a different conversation for another day. No, you're not MT, you're not viewed as Jamaican. And if you was on the stream earlier, I broke that down. But at the end of the day, I'm fed up with I'm not a victim. I'm not a victim. I've never been a victim, and I never will be. So I ain't never going to be. If I think that the palace is full of, if I think that the palace is a certain way, I'm not going there. I ain't going there. All the sisters done. And if this ever comes across your feet, you've made yourself a target, man. They're not gonna put you in certain rooms again. They're not going to do that because you've made yourself a target. I'm hearing on Twitter people are talking about tax that she owes and money that she's made, and all of that is not. Why would you put that on yourself? Why would you put that on yourself? And you, man, that are backing certain things, something's wrong with you. At the end of the day, I would never disrespect the sister because she looks like she could be my mom. I got a lot of sisters like that I love unconditionally. But at the end of the day, we have to understand what we're doing. We have to know how we're moving, how we're navigating through this system.
Thank you.
No, but come true, man. Come true.
Thank you. As you said, navigating this system is tricky as it is already. Now, to put yourself out there like that, she's doing the work, boots on the ground. There's people dip on Twitter just typing characters in there, disrespecting, calling names, bringing information out and stuff. Where's the fruits of your branches? What work have you been putting in? Because all I'm hearing is chat. Oh, what about the poor lady Hussey? I mean, like she's had to resign and stuff now, and blah blah blah, and this, she's old, and they've blown it out of proportion. All she was doing was asking her name. This isn't racist, So we're creating, in essence, that there's two victims now, aren't there? There's the old, potentially, up there in age and got a lot of miles mentally, so she might not be all there.
But she's not all there. 100%. Not the sister, the lady. I can tell you that before even, yeah.
Yes. Well, she's in the capacity as oh God. She's got like reduced duties now. Now they're throwing it out there in the media like this old lady is just volunteering her time to go to the Buckingham Palace and have meetings with people and whatever for free. She's been under the Buckingham Palace for 50 plus years. She's had a very nice wage. If anything, they've just reduced her wage because she's not doing as much hours. Yeah. It's a madness, man. It's a madness. And I am so disheartened from the so-called black people. I'm going to call them that. So-called black people who have just been just vicious and vile on Twitter, man. It's a disgusting place, man. It's a disgusting place. And where is the unity in this here? Where is people standing up for the sister and saying, obviously you can add some points and whatever, and you can, call out little bits and pieces, but to just run her down like this, and anyone who's kind of questioning, like, why is this being blowing up into this big proportion? Why is this all over the news? Where there's young boys getting run down on the streets, where there's a lack of opportunity, where the price of living has risen just like the sun, where we got all of these issues going on, but all of a sudden now, all of the media, it's this West Indian, black woman who feels racist, and the Buckingham Palace thing, and it's theater, pushing our emotions and our feelings in all these different directions for the purpose of what? What is this going to bring forth? Except for chaos and confusion as it's doing now.
That's all. It's creating nothing but division, but because just like We're getting tricked. We're constantly being tricked, not by the sister or, we're being tricked by the media, because what's happening is, we're warring amongst one another about foolishness. Like with the Kanye thing the other day, and man's are arguing and everyone's arguing, and then, we're getting into heated debates over stupidity. And I'm saying with this situation, I'm not saying, all let's isolate this to the question. Just isolate it to the question. You have to stand 10 toes down, whether you're in school, college, the workplace, whether it's your neighbor, whoever it may be. Some of you, man, you sit at a dinner table, you have to be PC there as well. I don't. But not for you, man, watching this. Christmas, you can't talk certain things. Even in your own yard. Let's keep this 1,000. So let's not pretend, man. Let's stop pretending. At the end of the day, you have to stand 10 toes down. If a man comes over and says, yo, where you from? If you feel like you can play, just answer it for them. Say it for them with your chest, as the youth say. Say it for them. I'm from here. Where's that? Tell her, take the time out. Yeah, this is some African cloth. It comes from this place. These are my locks. Rare, you know what I mean? Stand 10 toes down, man. Some people might say, oh, well, I don't need, I'm English. Too much people are begging things, Keep begging things, man. Keep begging things, and then you'll get them wake-up calls. Keep begging people's thing, and you'll get them wake-up calls. Because like I said, the sister's doing phenomenal work. And I know this myself based on the research for this stream tonight. She's doing phenomenal work within our communities.
Hey, Mark, don't forget, she's being called out for the work she's doing.
They've called her out saying that she's only representing black women.
Yeah.
That this is now what's happened is where you would have remember the sister made. Matter of fact, let's not even get into all that.
No.
Let's leave that alone. Yeah. But the sister's doing well. Just bear that in mind. The sister's doing well. Coach, we need to start learning about stealth, about being in rooms, but understanding. You need to start learning about not everything we bring to the forefront. Like I just gave you that example.
Yeah.
Not everything, because listen, what the people are saying on Twitter is what the media think, What the individuals are saying on Twitter is what the media think. There was a lady who is black who was on a platform called, let's get it up right now.
GMB News thing.
GMB. Should we play it? Actually?
Play it, man. Yeah. Because I was warm with her still.
Oh, you spoke to her?
No, we had a little exchange, but yeah.
Now, forget where do you come from in Africa? More like, what planet? What is going on with her hair? I mean, seriously, I've got some bad wigs that I wear on purpose, by the way.
Pause it.
But before you say anything, Noble, you know that lady, does she show her partner or her family or anything?
Not overtly, but I'm sure she's with a European fella.
Y'all listen to the Express Truth Show with my man Mark Hamilton. So stay locked in, is it?
What did you say, Noble?
I'm sure she's with a European fella.
Go to Noble. We're gonna carry on playing that as well.
Yeah. Because we gotta catch that. Did you hear the disrespect straight away? And again, the further division between Afro-Caribbean folk and African folk. Like, well, what are we doing here? She's out of this world. Look at her hair.
Noble, let's run it. We're gonna go in. We're gonna run this. People, we're gonna pull this up. Listen carefully. And remember, there's a lot of agents like this, now. Respectfully, if I'm on remember, this lady's being paid to be the face of this. But if you notice, she's reinforcing certain stereotypical views. There's been a lot of memes going around. There's been a lot of... Let's play. Let me stop talking.
God, where do we start? This woman, Ngozi Fulani, which isn't her real name, by the way, it's actually Marlene Headley, went to the palace event dressed like this. Now, forget where do you come from in Africa. More like, what planet? What is going on with her hair? I mean, seriously, I've got some bad wigs that I wear on purpose, by the way, to get a reaction. But that is another level.
Hold on, though. That ain't a wig, though.
This is what I'm saying.
That ain't a wig. This is what... You see what I mean? That ain't even a wig she's wearing. That's natural locks. Let's keep playing it.
Lady Hussey, our dearly departed Queen's Lady in waiting for some 60 years, moved Ngozi's hair out of the way, brave move, so she could see a name badge, which was clearly not a traditional British name, which is what I suspect, alongside the outfit, sparked her intrigue and this totally unverified...
Hold on. Sorry, people. One thing I will say, though, one thing I will say, and people might not like this, they may not like this, but if I'm going to get rid of the name that I'm saying the oppressor gave me, so the oppressor did give man that name, if I'm getting rid of that name, why don't I just get rid of it altogether?
Are you saying change it by default?
Listen, I got a brethren, I'm not going to call out his name, but I got a friend. His dad's a Ras. Taught me a lot of stuff when I was younger as well. Very well-known man in Brum. He changed everyone's name, all his children's name, everything, the surname. They got an African surname, which now my brethren's got all his children and all that, and he's given them that name. They don't use the original name at all. When you kind of keep both of them, I may be wrong, but it's almost like I'll present that name in certain environments and I'll present that name in certain environments.
Yeah.
Carry on playing this thing, man.
We don't even know whether it's true, but let's go with it. The lady said, where are you from? Miss Fulani says, Sister Space. So where do you come from? Miss Fulani says, we're based in Hackney.
Now, this lady, people, you can't see this, what we're playing right now. But her wig looks terrible. Terrible. I don't even understand the audacity of these type of black people who feel comfortable enough to get online and bash what is actually our natural hair. I don't think people are understanding the levels of stupidity going on here. But this is a domino effect. This is a domino effect, people. Because once you open up a certain can of worms, you invite people like this in, and there's a lot of people like this within the community. A lot.
And you know what I call these people, Mark? I call them tanned devils. Because what kind of righteousness is she bringing forth with this kind of business? She is paid a handsome figure to appear on GMB News and to promote and propagate this surface level foolishness, which creates a ripple effect of destruction. Now, she's indeed on a surface level, right, to a point, of course. She's presented herself in this way with that name. Where are you from? That makes sense. But then she puts in these subliminals. Her hair, what planet does she come from? It's basically saying that having natural hair, if you are an original black woman, isn't the thing to do. You need to plait your hair and put someone else's hair on top of that in the form of a wig or a lace front. That's what makes you a black woman.
I ain't taking back no talk. I'm not taking back no talk. If I'm changing my name from Mark Hamilton to an African name, Mark Hamilton's gone. If I need to keep Mark Hamilton, I don't need to change my name. I don't care what none of you say. If I'm changing my name, I'm changing my name. This is the same thing with the Mo Farah, with Anthony Joshua, all these things. Why can't a man call himself his name? So if we're holding on to it, that means you need something then. Yeah. That means you need something from the people then. So you can't keep complaining every minute. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping this thing all the way real. If you're standing 10 toes down, you're standing 10 toes down. Right now, let me show you something. Today, Brittany Griner, she was released, from Russia. They released her today. Didn't you see how Russia stood 10 toes down and said, we're not releasing her until you release our guy, to where the Americans didn't want to do it, But they stood 10 toes down. They had to release her. They had to release the Russian guy, who's some arms smuggler or something, allegedly, for a woman who had some little bit of vape oil. But they stood on what they were standing on. So if I'm changing my name, I'm changing my name.
Yes.
I'm fed up of hearing all these excuses. And if my name's changing to an African name, then that's my name. No one, if my name changed, there's no such thing as Mark Hamilton no more. It's straight the African name, but that's the problem. Some men are only Instagram. It's only Instagram, social media. How are you really living in your personal life?
This is the thing, Mark. This is what people, they get caught up in the facade of it all. Oh, this is the African name I present, etc., etc. But as you say, they've got a double life because they can slip back into being Michael Blackman, at any point. It's not being solid. It's not being forthright. It's not saying, yo, this is what I stand on. I know I'm going to be disadvantaged just based upon how this system is. And I'm going to hold it and I'm going to ride it and I'm going to show other people this is the flex I'm on. 100%.
Weston, big up yourself. Nothing but love. Weston, you're one of the Express Truth alumni. Nothing but love. That was something from Twitter. You just kind of reminded me. Sorry, Noble.
No problem, man. No problem. It's disheartening, man. It's disheartening, but at the same time, it's good to see these tan devils come up and show this stuff because they're poking their head above the parapets and showing who they are. We need people to show who they are. Like, who are you? Are you just talking the thing? Or are you walking the thing? Because everybody know man talk and walk the thing.
Facts.
Not everybody, it's just talk. It sounds cool. Yo, Mark, my man sounds dope, Yeah, man, I'm going to support him. But they don't see him. They don't know him. They don't know what work he's putting in or what work she's putting in.
Like I said, there's a lot of time wasting going on in and around the community. A lot of man, they just, you remember that game Lemmings from back in the day?
Yes.
Like the 1 minute the lemmings would run over to that side and then the lemmings would run over to that side and then the lemmings would run to the front, and that's what's going on now. Like, anybody, I'm telling you now, any mans know, because enough men on the WhatsApp, they've clicked on my picture and they just see a grey silhouette. Because certain men were supporting certain effery. Even after I debunked it and gave them the facts, they were still supporting certain effery. Trust me.
It sounds good though, man. You remember, it feels good, it sounds good, it feels good. And some people, it's all about the feeling. It feels good to me, man. So that's it. The truth, remember, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Yeah? So the truth can be quite harsh at times. And people of 2022, they're weak. They aren't doing no truth. Truth's too hard, man. Allow the truth, Mark. What are you talking about? Express truth? Nah. CFR? Nah. We want to do the easy things, man. We want to run an auto-program character. We want to have the easy ride. We want the Instagram lifestyle. We want the contoured nose and the Brazilian butt lifts and all the rest of that crazy stuff. We want the expensive clothes and all that stuff. But we don't want to work for it. We don't want to put in no damn work. We don't want to go to the gym for the thing. You know what I mean? These things are supposed to materialize out of nowhere.
There's too much misdirection right now. And like I said on the last show or whatever it was, that I personally, I'm just fed up of it now, man. Like, when I look in the media every day, all I see is victim stuff. I'm fed up of it, man. Me personally, I'm fed up of it because we're wasting time. Right now, you can see what they're doing to the country right now. You can see what they're doing. You can see how they're handling the country. And we're worried about the wrong things. We should be worried about how we're going to support some. Right now, there's people sitting down in their yard, yeah? Listen, if I was to talk certain things, you know, there's people sitting down in their yard right now who ain't got no gas, no electric, of the community who can't talk up. But we're here talking about we offended because someone asked us where we're from. And we ourselves don't claim the place. You see what I'm trying to say? I don't get this. I just don't get it. I don't take no form of disrespect. I understand that. Just so no one don't mix up my words. But we're wasting time. Wasting a lot of time. Certain people talk about all this Garveyite stuff and all this, but they're not practicing nothing that the man put out there. Nope. So what? You just do that couple of weekends of the year. Is that what that is? Because that's what it looks like.
So and then you get serious about it.
Would Garvey have been offended by that? I'm asking you, Noble. Would Garvey have been offended? No, you think no. Man. So you think he'd have been offended if someone asked him where he was from?
Oh, sorry. No. Oh, sorry. No. Because he was a proud Jamaican.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Come on.
Respectfully. And like I said, it's a beautiful sister. This is not an attack. Beautiful sister. Looks like she could be my mom. You see what I'm saying? So no one is not auntie, whatever, friend, whatever. But we are not going to, what we're not going to do is disrespect her. The conversation's important. It's important. I'm just saying, when Meghan Markle come out with her thing, she drew out a lot of the community. And now, like I said, that's Meghan Markle's place. She ain't spoke out. She ain't said nothing. Nothing in defense of the sister. Nothing. But Meghan Markle come out next week and tell you like that someone gave her a dirty look. We're going to get the most radical sisters on Good Morning Britain kicking off, headscarf, ready to lick down people, saying, nah, how you're treating her. But when you're going through your thing, you don't see Meghan Markle.
Nah.
Meghan Markle don't give you that a little nod or, I know, trust me, she's not giving a little nod to the community and putting on a one red, green and gold badge to make you say, listen, all right, I'm not saying nothing, but look on that. You see what I'm saying? Or even coming into certain of our communities and saying, listen, hold that. Mm-hmm. Go and put, even coming into a little youth club or whatever with the type of wealth she has access to. How she helping the community. But every minute we're standing up arguing, ready to kick off for this person who ain't black, who don't claim black. Hold on, Noble. Hold on. And we're going to open the phone line.
Hey, so she's not black because she doesn't have two black parents, in essence, right?
I'm not saying that, Noble, because I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm not saying that because I got bedrooms who don't have two black parents, but they're black. Meghan Markle don't identify as that.
The identification mentally and spiritually, that's what we're dealing with, right?
Yes, that's what we're dealing with. What we're actually going to do is play a clip from the Meghan Markle document. I think they've deleted it. I think they've deleted the clip. Must have got flagged. Hold on, I'm going to take one more look. Because Meghan Markle, she's told you herself. She's told you, and it's her that kind of set up a lot of these things in terms of, you know what I mean? All right, here we go. This is a clip, people, from Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's, or Harry, because I know he's not a prince no more, their documentary. Listen to this.
Be a minority, but not be treated as a minority right off the bat. Obviously now people are very aware of my race because they made it such an issue when I went to the UK, but before that, most people didn't treat me like a black woman. So that talk didn't have to happen for me.
What are you saying?
On self, yeah. You see it there?
What are you saying?
And you can look at this woman, this being, and say, like, what, like, are you mixed, or like, what's your lineage, man? What's your heritage? She doesn't exude original woman features of sorts.
She showed you while it was noble. She showed everyone listening to this right now. Meghan Markle, listen to me. If I am getting married, yeah, even if I leave the community to marry outside the community and I'm getting married, you're going to see bare little black girls in pretty dresses with holding flowers and pull up that wedding, show me them little black girls. Where were they at? Where was they at? Where was the little black girls with the pretty hair, and you get what I mean? And the beautiful dresses and holding flowers, where were they at? Where were them little girls at her wedding if she's so down for the community? This is the thing. But we jump on these bandwagons and pick up people's argument. When that was going in with PS and all them, we should have left that alone. But instead, we want to jump in people's argument, and now them same people are not saying nothing.
Yeah.
Did Meghan Markle... I'm asking this either now or after the fact. Did Meghan Markle ever bless anybody with a thing? All the wealth she's got access to. Did she ever come around and say, yo, you know what? Even some of them sisters with locks and rare. Did she ever go and check any of them and say, you lot stood up for me on Good Morning Britain, real talk, what, hold that. I hope that can help you in your endeavors or whatever, because you spoke up for me. Did she do that?
Yeah.
Did she do that? No. So why are we picking up her argument? Because that's where the root of this is from. And I'm not even gonna lie. When you go on Twitter, some white guys have debunked it. You can't argue. I'm telling you the truth. Because I'm gonna ask a question. Because I'm not gonna state nothing. I'm gonna ask a question. If someone says to me, don't eat in that restaurant because it's nasty and I got bad service, I'm not going to the restaurant. Especially if I believe it. I now go there. Not only do I go there, but I go there loud. And there's nothing wrong with going nowhere loud. Don't get that twisted. But if you're loud, you also have to be proud. If you are loud, you also have to be proud. Because if you ain't proud, pointless being loud, you may as well have just wore what everyone else was wearing and go and blend in. But if you're going there and you're standing up in a certain garment with a certain hair, which is beautiful, by the way, absolutely beautiful, then when people come over to you, you stand 10 toes down. Certain other man within the community, you got to stand for certain man. It's not anything you can just, like, the last 2 months have shown me a lot of things, A lot of things. You see me, I was always taught, it's not what a person says, it's what they do. And most men ain't doing anything, but they're saying a lot.
Yes.
And we're taking their word as gospel. There's nothing gospel about these men's word. If these men really were living the way they say they are, they would have made those life choices before they were disrespected by anybody. Now, the lady on that GBN News, that's an agent. That's an agent. Now, wolf in the den. Meghan Markle didn't donate anything. I'm willing to bet. She didn't donate anything to no community. She never, what she did is stay quiet through that whole thing. I even seen somebody else went on Pierce's show the other day and was shouting and arguing. Remember, Megan was trying to link Pierce. She was ready to open up her 2-foot them to Pierce. How we standing up for that? Listen, man.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Please. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
I ain't here to play I don't need to. Listen, I ain't here to play no type of games or sugarcoat nothing. We're picking up arguments that are not ours. We're picking up stupidity. No, but talk to me, man. Listen, I'm saying right now, we can open the phone lines, mate.
Yeah.
We can open the phone lines.
Let them run through, man. Let them run.
No, but talk to me, man. Let's see if anyone's going to call in today.
They're magicians, man. They're falling for, when you go and you're sitting down and you got a guy, he's got a hat, I'm going to pull a rabbit out the hat, or you got the David Blaines and they're putting shit through flipping windows and all this shit. These are magicians, man. They're doing all kind of stuff and you're, wow, look at this stuff. Meanwhile, real life, not existing, real life is just passing you by, man. How quickly has this growing year of 2022 gone? And just think, what are the most poignant things in your mind that you can bring up? It's going to be these headlines. Yo, this happened, that. Not like, what did you do, man? What were your plans? Did you fulfill your goals, your dreams for this year? You know what I mean? No, it's filled with just, this is the promotion. This is the promotion that we're running now. Who's in on it? Who's going to watch this thing? Who's going to pick up on it? Because we got shit to sell, man, and y'all are clearly buying it.
Real facts. Just quickly, Noble, Benji P, big up yourself for the super chat. People, we keep it. This is the platform, man. Listen, I don't need nothing from them people, so I say whatever. I don't need nothing. Don't matter what you think. She was married to a white film exec before Harry. She never identified with us. You got it. That's our problem. We're picking up people's battles, man. I'm just keeping it real. And when we pick up people's battles, we get disrespected. Because now on the couple of men that are speaking out, they ain't got the voice to really, you see what I'm saying? So there's a couple of men that are trying to, but the people with the bigger platforms that we've pushed to the forefront, none of them speaking out, like saying, oh, you know what, it could be a misunderstanding or the way the lady said it or any of that.
But you know what it is, Mark? People are scared to look at the big picture, man, the whole picture. It's about, I'm going to be on this side, because if I just talk like, my true opinion of and be like, not be biased, because everyone, and don't get it twisted, we do have, it's human nature to be biased of sorts. But the key thing, especially when you grow older and you mature, is to, okay, this is my biased opinion, but taking my biased hat off, what does it look like? So then we get a balanced view, a Mayat view of the situation. And again, it's all that shit's too tough, man. If you don't think this way now, and you're in your 30s, 40s, you're done, man. Plastic fork time. Plastic. If you ain't got no kind of, and it's just talk, yeah, man, and you're sitting in a room with no gas, no electricity, a box. You ain't even been able to furnish the damn something. You got no carpet under something, but yet on the gram you're doing this and you're saying this and power to the people and blah blah. Nah, man.
Man, listen, I heard people. I'm hearing people bawling now. I'm like, yeah, man, that's why we should have been focused. Because right now I've been saying this. Listen to when I'm talking, and don't get it twisted. I see certain men out there. I believe they're throwing little shots. But it would never be answered unless you made it clear who you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? So let's just say that. But these situations are creating a lot of division within the community. A lot. And trust me, I didn't even want to even come on here and, you know what I mean, and really even get into it like this. But I feel like we're being... look at everything that's going on in the background. People are... nothing's got there. People have rapped. We took up... We drank... You know when Jim Jones gave the people them the poison, yeah? When I used to hear that story when I was younger, I used to have nightmares about that story, about when Jim Jones gave them people the thing. But you see, as I get older, I understand how he did it because people believe anything.
Yeah.
Anything, there's man that talk all this stuff, yeah? But you're in the doku and all them kind of things. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It don't make sense.
It don't and what have I always said? If you can't apply information to your life and make it manifest in the physical, it don't mean nothing.
But yeah.
All this whatever, RBG thing, that's blessed and it's wonderful to do that there. But like, what are we doing? How are you living now? And I ain't talking about just being a poor righteous teacher and on. I'm like, but can you sustain yourself and your familiar? Because if you can't do this, you need to like slow down on all that there, get yourself sorted, and then look at, bringing forth a better community and a more righteous community. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, phone's bubbling, man. Phone's bubbling. You live on the Express Truth.
Yeah, what go on? Dave, what's good?
Yo, fam, what go on, man. This is just what you're saying, Dave. This is a next brother who don't just talk. Let me just say that I ain't even putting your thing out there, fam. But go to.
Yeah. Recognize. We recognize real. Do you know what it is? I think we're in an age now, yeah, where a lot of people are sheeps, and they don't really know how to identify themselves as leaders, so they follow anybody. Now. Anybody with a little bit of prominence or a little bit of fame, i.e. you can see that with the Kanye West thing, you can see that with this Meghan Markle thing, you can see that with a lot of things. People need to look into themselves as leaders and understand that, these people that we look at, like Meghan Markle, I don't look at her, but some women look up to her, they're just human beings. Maybe they've got some more money than you, but they're just human beings. Same with Kanye West as well. In fact, if you have a sit down with them, you soon, 2 minutes, realize how deluded they are and what they are in their reality. And with this Ngozi situation, I feel we really need to understand what's important to us.
What happened? You there?
You dropped out.
You dropped out. All right, hold on. All right, call back. It was. Here he is.
Bless it.
Yeah, you back in?
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, I would say like we only have 12 months in a year, right? So this year went by really, really quickly. And if we always give our energies out to people, situations that don't actually inspire us and benefit us, we're going to lose a lot of time within the year and a lot of time for progress. One thing that's helped me is for me to block out stuff which is basically a disruptor in my progression, which is a distraction. A lot of these things are distractions for the community, As black people, we've come a long way. We've got a lot of opportunities, definitely in the UK. And I'm a man that's traveled, you know what I mean? So I know there's opportunities in the UK. We just need to put our heads down and we just need to focus, whether you can do it collectively or you could do it singly. But you don't need to focus on other people's struggles, other people's oppressions too tough, especially when it's not that it's not benefiting you, but...
I dropped out. Let's call. I don't know what happened there. It's not on our side.
The jewels, man. The jewels are being dropped, man. Too many heavy jewels.
People, listen, man. If you disagree or you agree or you just want to say something, call in, man. Call in. This is what I'm trying to say. When these things actually go live and a man can talk, them phone lines are looking very different. Just like with the Kanye, when I actually sat down and had the notepad and had everything ready to go, all them, he was right, man. Ton goes. Ton blind. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
and this is what I'm trying to say. And that's with this now. Now, like I said, with what Dave was saying, and I can tell you right now, my man, he does what he's doing his thing. But even with what he's saying, we're losing a lot of time. We're losing a lot of focus by entertaining certain things. EJ Boxing Live. EJ, you in here? EJ.
Yes, bro. What is
Well,
it?
I'm talking to your mic, fam.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear. Go through, EJ. Go through.
Okay, yeah. No, man, I was just listening in. You talking about the situation in the palace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll comment on that, man. Yeah, but that thing is that thing is messed up, you know. Car, what happened with Marco and whatever, and this girl here, it shows you that they ain't learning it. Them people, they're stuck in their ways, innit? And you know what? You see that black woman. I saw that thing with that rusty black woman there, and she's over there. She's self-hating. I don't know where they find them people. They got another one in the Conservative with her glasses. I can't remember the Nigerian girl. She's in it as well. I think all it is that they got these people now, and they feel like they're coming to be opposed from black people, but she's by herself. Like, I think in America they have these things, yeah, where you have opposed black people one side or the other. They're trying to start. But when I heard that woman, yeah, and her voice, I was like, yo, where she come from? What kind of black woman she is? She's opposing her. Look at her hair. I go, is she? I know she looks black, but she's not black, man. I mean, she can't be, man. In terms of understanding our people, then when she's opposing that thing, the woman disrespect the woman and her hair, and then another thing as well. She called her by an English name. I was like, that's the same thing Ali fought for. Ali's name was Cassius Clay. He said, nah, I'll get rid of my slave name. My name's Muhammad Ali. So I don't know why she feel like she the need to tell her the English name when that's not her name. Her name is what she said it is. You know what I mean? So there's mad disrespect from that black woman there. I never heard of her before that thing, and I said to myself, on that network, it's like an ongoing battle against Mel. It's like the whole network. That network is done by Fox or whatever it's done by. It's just to bash down Merkel and Mark or whatever her name is, just to mash her up. You know what I mean?
And, what it is, EJ? Let me jump in there quickly. Yeah. Right now, I can tell you this. There's a lot of social commentators that are on the internet doing their thing. A lot of them have 9 to 5, so they're working as well as doing their social commentary thing. And people like GBN News are offering out these positions and saying to these folks, listen, I can take you away from the 9 to 5. I can, I can give you a slot on here. You don't have to do no editing. And then people are eating it up. And when they're jumping in there, they're putting on their clown nose and their clown shoes and disrespecting the community. And when individuals who are solid in the community and not only just talking, but can back everything up on paper if need to, people are trying, it's crazy. EJ, this is madness.
Yeah.
Come on, EJ, man.
Yeah, it's madness. And the thing is, when I see them thing there, because I saw the black woman talking, and I was like, because that channel there, I don't know if it's Australian or wherever it is, and I'm like, yo, they just, it's just, nah, man. And what's his name? Piers Morgan, he was the first on that kind of controversial way. And everyone on there, I think they got Nigel Farage, is it not Nigel Farage? They got Thingy Farage over there, whatever his name, he's over there as well. And I was like, they got the most controversial loony bins people over there. I can't take them for seriously as well. And then you had the Kanye West situation. That one, there's another one. That man say he like the Nazis and all them thing there. I said, yo. I said, he ain't got no Nazi friend him. He could never have no Nazi friend if he's saying them thing in the car.
People forget, that Adolf Hitler, hated anybody who didn't fit his ideology.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Jewish people. He didn't like black. I believe he killed over 30,000 black people, man.
When Jesse Jones was running at the Munich Olympics, he didn't want him to win. That's when he came out with the theory, say black people, they have different head shapes and stuff like that, and they can't be the superior race, which is the Aryan. So when Jesse Owens, was running all the track, he didn't give the medal. The person who runs the Olympics, they're supposed to come down and give the medal. He didn't give the medal. He didn't give the gold medal to it. years later, Jesse Owens went back to Germany and they honored him and gave him his Olympic gold medal because Hitler wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think.
And then you got Man Ray in my man, who
Yeah,
people were saying, yo, there was one clown on Instagram who I was going back and forth with, and he was making every excuse under the sun.
Yeah, hey, listen, mental health is a thing, or drugs, whatever. But it's funny the wavelength that these people on is not healthy, and it only can end up in one way. Them people killing. But that black woman, I never, I don't know if she's sleeping a bit or whatever drugs she take to say them things or money. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to sell you off. I believe she's Ghanaian. And listen, I just see like, yo. I know they got a lot of them people in America, but they're trying to bring that kind of thing over here. It's not working. But anyway, great show, guys, by the way. Appreciate you letting me come on, and we'll catch up soon. Take care, guys.
EJ, enough love, man.
All right.
Give thanks. This is divide and conquer on so many different levels, man. You know what I mean? Divide and conquer, and to distract. Yo, we gotta be wiser than this, man. You know what I mean? We gotta be a lot more wiser than this stuff. The media puts out. What does the media do? Are they showing like the goodness that's happening? Because there's good things that happen every day. Are they showing where's the feel good? You remember back in the day on the news, they used to have like, the little cat was up the tree, and the local fireman got them, and they ain't none of that. They ain't putting that out there no more. It's just pure distractions. They want you to fight with each other as original foe. They want you to have this victimhood with white supremacy and the dominant force in this little island that we're on. Like, hey, this world is very big, If you want to stay in this kind of little shell of woe be me, I can't do nothing, then I ain't got nothing for you. I really have got nothing for you. But if you've got some kind of spark of like, yo, I want to do something, then there's avenues and ways, man. We don't need to be just falling for everything and not standing for nothing.
Every little trick, like it's like there's an excuse for everything. A man's now saying, anybody, listen, this is what the clown show is getting so ridiculous now. Anyone black, with any piece of success, our own black people are just discredit. I'm not saying they ain't certain men that are engaging in certain things. I'm not saying that, so don't get it twisted. But everyone black. So Samuel L. Jackson now, my man gets a little squeeze in Star Wars. Now someone's calling anonymous. If anyone's trolling or anything, you're getting kicked out of the thing. You're live on the Express Truth. Oh, they must have heard they must have got the memo. But yeah, like I was saying, Samuel L. Jackson, my man's in, he gets a little squeeze in Star Wars. We all know in today's world that my man is a very talented actor.
Very.
We know that. Look at the roles he's played. Now, out of everyone in that cast, we say the director had to bang him. Nobody else, Noble. Nobody else who's in it, but the director had to touch him for him to get that role. Who's making up these narratives, man? Like, so nobody else, everyone else was just a talented actor. And this, listen, man, this anonymous thing, I'm not really with it, I'm not even going to lie. If you can't show your number, I believe you shouldn't even call in. Real talk. Because I'm not into the trolling thing. And I'm on one today. So I'm saying, again, it seems as though all these... I seen Major Fink post something today. Major Fink, big up yourself. He posted something that was all of the highest grossing tours. Nobody black was on that list. But we ain't saying... Now, I'm not saying that man did anything to achieve that success, because I don't believe they did. But no one was in the comments questioning how them mans were so successful and make that have been a list of 5 black artists, we'd have been saying that he had to do a handstand while a man would. He had to do a handstand and a man had to touch his thing and it's crazy, man. It's crazy. The self-hate's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You're live on the Express Truth.
Okay, am I live?
You're live right now.
Yeah. Okay, this is Ancobia. Good evening, Mark and crew.
No, but Ancobia, how you doing? How are you doing? I know you're gonna talk some sense right now.
Well, look, I'm praying my battery. I've been out on the road and my battery's going, and I pulled over somewhere just so I could try and get something to say. So I'm going to try and be as quick as I can. I haven't heard the whole show. Let me just say that.
Okay.
Because like I said, I'm on the road. I'm on my way home, but I just wanted to call before you finished.
Okay.
So, okay then. So let's look at it like this. So the sister, I think I heard you say that the sister, because she's using her English name and not her African name, that she's not real. Is that what you meant?
I never said she's not real. What I said is, Ancobia, let me just give you the memo. I said, if I'm changing my name, I'm on a Muhammad Ali vibe.
Yeah.
Don't call me Cassius Clay.
Yeah.
Don't call me Toby. It's Kunta Kinte. That's my style. But go ahead, Ancobia. Don't let me take up the floor.
Yeah. I think because the sister, I mean, we also have to give the sister does so much work in our community. So we have to give her the props for the work that she does. And it could be a case, there's loads of us who got African names, but when we go to official places, it could be that we use our English name. I have an African name, but when I do other things, I use my English name. Why? I made up my mind. I'm not paying somebody to change my name to an African name because they didn't pay me to change my name from an African name to an English name.
I hear that. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay. Because then if we're saying like certain people are not real because they do that, there's a lot of
Ancobia, we didn't say that. Ancobia, we didn't say they're not real.
Okay. So,
all right, please, man, please. And we did big up the work she does as well.
Yeah, definitely. I heard you say then with Meghan now, a lot of us get on Meghan's case. And with Meghan, you see, Meghan's mother said if she could go back, she wished she would have taught her daughter about race, but she didn't. So I don't think it's that Meghan could be on our side or this side, or she tried to sleep with this person or the next door peers. Whoever she tried to sleep with is no one's business anyway. But as far as trying to be on the black side or the white side, that's not how she was raised. So I don't think you can expect more from somebody when they haven't been raised that way. A mother says that Meghan only ever heard the word nigger once in her lifetime. That's when somebody called it to her mother when she was a big grown woman. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes I just think that when it comes to Jew heritage people, we expect a lot from them, but we don't necessarily put ourselves into their world.
No, you see, I gotta jump in, Ancobia.
Yeah, man.
I'm not saying that Meghan is supposed to bat for the black man or none of that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're batting for her. And what has she done in return? Has she gave us a nod, even? Has she done anything? Has she done anything to show?
So what about the work she does in Africa?
All right, can you enlighten us on that, please?
Yeah, she's done a lot of work. She's done work in Rwanda, in other parts of South Africa. She's done work. Do you know what I mean? When she had her wedding, she invited a whole there was a host of black people who she invited.
They weren't part of the thing. They weren't part of the wedding.
But she did. She did have black people at her wedding. She invited that family, the musical family from Bristol, to come and be part of the...
I interviewed them as well. But yeah, carry on talking. Let me not cut it.
Is that I just think sometimes we expect too much from certain people. And yes, I can see why some people are down for her, because in their mind, that's how they are, isn't it? It's like, oh, this is our chance to get into the royal family, which is nonsense. We should never look to the royal family or any other British institution for validation. That's our problem. We keep going outside of ourselves to seek validation. But I don't, just because I think, okay, well, I don't appreciate the racism or the so-called racism that Meghan's experiencing, it doesn't mean that she then has to turn and say, what to me? What's she supposed to say to me? What can she say to me? She's already in the firm. What can she say to me?
So just quickly, Ancobia. The work she's doing in Africa, is that not the work that the royals do in Africa?
She was doing that even before. She was doing that before. Before she met Harry, she was doing that work. She just wasn't.
So she was going into Africa. Here's the wedding picture on the screen.
In India?
The wedding picture's on the screen right now. You probably can't see it, but the wedding picture's on the screen right now.
Yeah. I can't see it. Well, what are you showing me? Sorry.
You'll see it in the afterplay, but what I'm saying is,
yeah,
I'm saying I'm just gonna isolate it to this. Let me just turn my camera back on. Sorry. I'm just gonna isolate it to this, Ancobia.
Yeah.
I'm gonna isolate it to Meghan's came into the British institution.
Mm-hmm.
She's came here. Our things different. We gotta be real. Our struggles here are different.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't gave us no nod here. That's all I'm saying. She ain't gave us no nod. She hasn't done that. I just put the wedding picture up. I'm just saying I don't think we need to back.
Have we invited her to any?
Of course.
Have any black organizations, the Black Society of Lawyers or any other big black organizations, have they invited her to any places and she said, like, no, I don't want to be amongst you people, or what?
Does she need to be invited though? After we're going on Good Morning Britain. We're fighting, we're arguing in workplaces, we're doing all this.
Know us. How else is she gonna know us? When she's getting to meet the royals and the so-called British hierarchy, she's going into certain institutions, certain events. Where are we bringing her in? For example, the NACCP gave her an award in February. They brought her into their event. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And that's what we've got to do. Listen, Mark, you know me. I'm not down for no British royal family and them people. You know that, full stop. As I told you already, we spend too much time focusing on racism.
Yeah.
It gets on my nerves. We're too focused on what other people are doing to us and not what we're doing for ourselves.
Yes.
And we've got to stop it. They keep baiting us. We keep getting baited with race. That's my issue with the Meghan and the sister story. We're being baited.
Yeah.
And we're not taking the narrative, changing it, and twisting it to how we want. We're going in there begging, oh, why won't you accept us? Why won't you accept us? Nonsense. Yeah. I'm just saying that I'm not expecting certain things from certain people because them done make up them bed as to who they're lying down with. So from you made up your bed over there, I don't expect you to come and tell me what. You've made up your bed. What do you want to tell me?
Yeah, it's true. It's true,
and that's
my thing.
Come to the schools where our nieces and nephews and children are and shake their hands for what?
I hear, you know, totally. And obviously I know you personally, so I know you really are 100%. But I'm just saying that I'm just fed up of us getting drawn into arguments that don't.
I agree with you.
That argument's not our argument. It's not. And look at the kind of worms it's open.
That woman on GBMT or whatever that stupid. That woman with the weave. They need her. That woman hurts my head. She hurts my eyes whenever I see her.
Yeah.
Sell out written all over her body, her head. Anytime she opens her mouth, it's just master speak, master talk, master. What do you want me to say? So what I'm saying is, the focus has got to be on us as black people, 100%. What are we about? Where are we going? When they keep throwing this race card at us and baiting us, fling it back at them, keep going forward. But listen, I'm going to go. I love the work you guys do every week. Everybody across the country should be listening to the show, listening to these brothers. They're spot on and they're right to bring up these debates. And I only wish my phone wasn't dead in because I would.
No problem, man. The people in the chat are bigging you up enough, you know, Ancobia.
Okay, well, big up to the people still. I'm big up to everybody listening. Share the video. Spread it to everybody. We've got to have these conversations. Yeah, we want to take control of our destiny in Britain as black people, as African people, as black British people. When they keep throwing the race card, every month there's a story, and it's just to take us off track. The brother, the caller was saying it earlier. Do you know what I mean? There's certain people, they're not even thinking of us, and we're always focusing on them, and we're not even dealing with our stories. I think one of your callers said at the end of the year, when you ask people what's been some of the story and the highlights of the year, they're not even going to mention their own story or what's happened in their community. They're going to talk about horse dead and cow fat.
That's it.
And they're not going to talk about what they've done to make a change in this world.
That's it.
You get me?
That's it. That's it. And we get
if I go
it's
into Buckingham Palace and they ask me my name and make up a fuss, my name's Kunta Kinte, my name's on the list, I'm coming through.
That's it.
That's it. I'm going through. I don't make no big fuss and go to the papers about it and the press and some big whatever because some old woman don't know herself.
Ain't it? Some old woman who don't know, who we could have just shut down with a couple of sentences.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? We didn't need it to be this. Really, we've took up nearly 2 hours talking about this when we could be talking about something else.
But we need to, because we need this conversation needs to happen to get inside people's heads. The focus going forward to end of 2022, 2023, 24, 5 onwards has got to be on us.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I agree.
On us, and stop taking up these racial debates and argue because they're baiting us. They're baiting us. We just want the stories that uplift us, and we want to understand our history and where we're going forward. But we cannot keep having these people setting the narrative and agenda, because you know what happens? They then take the argument and they use that same race card to beat us over the head with, and that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, exactly. It's the truth. It's the truth.
My
Very
brothers,
good
give
quote.
thanks for the reasoning. Give thanks.
Every
My
time.
phone's about to go. I love
Every
the work
time.
that you're doing. Everybody, I beg you, share this show all up and down the UK, Europe, the Americas, anywhere we are. Let people know across the world that in the UK we've got radio shows like this, podcasts like this, vlogs like this, where people talk sense.
Yeah, man, real talk, real talk.
All right, give thanks.
And Colby,
Ah,
thank
there
you for
go.
calling.
Blessings,
Thank you
brothers.
for calling.
Give thanks. Peace,
All right.
peace.
Peace. Yeah, man, that's what we need, man. That's what we need is foundational, strong elders to keep on talking and being that light and being that example. And as the elder said, to have, it's important that we had this build, because there are people still, as the new term is, the NPCs out here, they're lemmings out here, they are sheeple out here. That to them, they're just stuck in front of that box or in front of that the crack phone, and they're just consuming all the folly. Oh, this is how I'm supposed to feel. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I feel this way because you've told me to feel this way. No, forget the externalization of someone. Some far right person, some far left person, someone in the middle who's gonna come and save us. All we have is us, and us makes up the bigger population. It starts with self. Be the best person you can be. Study to show thyself approved, and collectively, when these things come on, we see them for what they are, and we're focused on doing what we need to do in the present, in the now, and for the future, because time is going hella quick, man. I'm telling you.
It's the truth, man. Before you blink, look, it was the only other day when we were locking down. That was 2020. We're about to go into 2023, people. We're wasting time with stupidity, man. We're wasting time. And then, all right, bring in the next caller.
Blessed.
You're live on the Express Truth.
Oh, hey, good evening. How's it going?
How you doing? I recognize your voice. You called last time, innit?
I have, yeah. I think I've called like maybe 2 times.
Yeah, man. Shout out. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm really enjoying the stream as always.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just wanted to chip in really. So I wasn't privy to the exact dialogue between the 2 women, right?
Yes.
But from my just sort of to throw in my opinion, and I'm not white, yeah, I'm British Asian.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one, right? Because I'm sure you guys can kind of agree. Sometimes your genetic identity doesn't always correlate to your personality, right? So you're kind of like trapped in between two places. But
elaborate, Caller, could you elaborate? What do you mean by that?
I just mean like, you know, my heritage is Asian, and I love my heritage. I would absolutely not want to be anything else. Like, I love it. The family, the food, it's just perfect for me. And so it's like all that's great, but there is a very big difference between someone born and raised in England versus another country.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
of course,
and I don't know. It's just that subtlety, you know, sometimes. But the truth is, like, you know, I think there is a kind of culture with some people, like they are desperate for approval from, you know, certain people. And I find that like off-putting, because if you're like truly happy and confident and, you know, you just have a good life, you really don't need approval from anyone else. So if I was in that position, someone said, "Oh, where are you from? Like, where are you really from?" I would just say, "Yeah, my heritage is X, Y, Z." Like, it's no skin off my back. And to be fair, like, you know, I've got friends who are like European.
What happened to the caller, man? That was building nice. Caller, if you hear this, call back. People, call in, man. Call in. Because listen, all these other podcasts, it's all pitching man against woman, pitching rich against poor, pitching success against non-success. That's all these men are doing out here, man. That's all they're doing. Getting BBL girl to sit down and shout. And that's all these podcasts are about. That's all these podcasts are about. Caller, we got you back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just hung up.
Yeah, go on. Carry on, Caller.
Yeah, no, all I was saying was, you know, I've got friends who are like European, and it's certainly, I'm sure I think a lot of people with accents in general, right, whether it's South African or Australian or French or Italian, you know, they might say, "Oh, I'm from, I don't know, from Croydon or from wherever in London," and someone might say, "Oh, where are you actually from?" Noticing that they're maybe, you know, from the continent. So, like, I think a lot of people get this question. But on the same hand, you know, I can understand why maybe the lady felt uncomfortable if, you know, it's being pressed. So obviously, you know, I'm not fully privy to what exactly was said, but I don't know. I just think, just to summarize, really, all I was saying was that I think that question is asked of a lot of people, and I think for most people, it's just water off a duck's back. Like, I kind of would agree with you. It just does not matter. Like, who cares, you know? But it's an interesting one, really. But like you said, I think I would agree that a lot of this is a diversion, right? Like, there are more important issues, and we end up kind of getting into these discussions, which are kind of interesting. But yeah, it's a shame, really. It's all negativity, isn't it, at the end of the day?
It is, man. It is. It takes the focus away from what we really, the things that we all of us of all races should be discussing, how we're going to get through what the government are doing right now. But instead, we're arguing about silly things like, "Oh, she called me this, she said that, she done this," and it's just getting a bit silly now. Do you know what I mean?
It is. Yeah, and you know, like, one final thing. I don't know if, like, I don't know what your views are on, like, John Barnes, the footballer. I'm a Liverpool fan, so I just love him, right? But he raises, like, really good points. Like, any racism debate I've seen him on TV or whatever, or radio, he does always bring it back to the kind of systemic issues, because that's really what's important, right? These idiosyncratic, these little individual cases that they're interesting and they're kind of important, but really, you know, I find with John Barnes that he tends to, like, you know, mention the societal issues. So, you know, they'll talk about, like, I don't know, a footballer like Raheem Sterling getting racially abused by Chelsea fans. Awful. But he will say, well, what about the people who walk the streets every day? Normal non-footballers who get stopped by the police, etc., etc. So I think those are the issues, right? The systemic things we need to worry about. You know, why are recruiters, you know, more likely to disregard CVs with certain sounding names? Like, that's a serious issue that needs to be addressed. But we never really talk about that. You know, we end up talking about these kind of individual cases, which is a shame.
Cool. And the media have no problem pushing these stories to the forefront. They know what they're doing, and I think that they've rolled out the sister for that reason, because they know that how it's looking is kind of like, hold hold on a second, that don't really make sense. So that's why they put in a spotlight on this story, but a lot of time's being wasted. And that's all my thing is. We're wasting a lot of time. We are, it's just getting silly. And that's all it is, caller. But thank you very much for the call.
Thanks,
I know you're
man.
becoming
Have
a regular. You too.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
Bye. People. Let's get a couple more in the building, man. Sensational crap. A man said sensational crap. Elaborate.
Is that positive or negative?
Y'all listen to the Express Truth Show with my man Mark Hamilton. So stay locked in, is it?
So, yeah, man, I just feel like, there's not much more I can say. See what I mean? There's not much more I can say. I'm just tired. I'm tired of this. I don't know what games are being played or what type, but there's so much groups within the group as well. So even with the Kanye thing, it divided us. It divided us. There was a point where my man was just saying anything and people were just like, yo, it's facts. Man, we're even dropping the Bible facts. I'm like, what? Man ain't dropped nothing. Listen, my man just throwing things out there and seeing what will stick, and we're just eating all this stuff up. We're just eating up everything and wasting time and all these big debates and all these blogs. And when you really look at what's being pushed, there's nothing being pushed with any real substance. It's just bare. Yo, if a man don't pay for me on the first date, I'm going to never link him again. And all them kind of stupid topics, man.
Surface level, juvenile, adolescent talk. Nothing that's going to move us forward as a nation. Nothing that's going to allow us, as I say, just to, live outside of the moment of what the headline is. Like we've really got to, if you've just just wandered across this thing, ask yourself those questions like, why am I so led and driven by whatever's trending? Why do I need to do that? What endorphins do I need to be fulfilled by doing that? How can I change that? Is my life really as satisfying as it should be? Like, think, man, this is no play. Before you look and blink, you're 60 years old and you look back and you're like, what did I do? What was my life?
Facts. You can't be wasting time, man, and you have to know, like I said, man, you gotta know it. Got to know how to navigate. Noble, I'm talking from experience. Remember when I called you a few months ago?
Yes.
I'm a liar, Noble.
Yes, for sure.
All right, and so what I'm trying to tell you is at any point that can land, and if that lands, you know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to say, I just believe that, what is it, Ngozi? Sorry.
Yes.
And I believe that Ngozi has put a spotlight on her that they can even do a thing like just, a tax bill just appears out of nowhere. That's them. It's stealth on the other side. Stealth. Someone somewhere will probably say, you know what? Fed up of hearing this woman. Listen, check her, put a microscope on her. You see what I mean? And eventually you'll be saying, why? And that's all my point is now. I'm not of this attacking Meghan, but it's very important who you're sleeping with. It is. It's very important who you're sleeping with, because whatever decision you make in your personal life kind of shows how you think. I don't care what no one wants to say. My mind will never change on that. The decisions you make in your personal life really shows how you think. Because enough men are talking, but in 50 years, they won't be a part of the conversation because their family ain't gonna be black no more. So you man can just listen and hear man talking. Facts. And I don't care about no people with no agendas that are trying to come attack the show. Be ready for whatever discussions, whatever topic. We talking the real. And like I said, we would never disrespect the sister, but there are more important topics at hand. As Noble said earlier, there's man sitting down in their yard with no gas, no electric, sitting there. We need to be looking at how we can look at these things. That's the kind of stuff we need to be focused on right now.
Hey, Mark, listen. Let's give some more. Let's give a little bit more detail on that scenario. Yeah. In the house, no electricity, no gas. He's got a pint of full fat milk in there, but his phone's on, so he's got access to the Instagram and to Twitter and to Netflix. So he's gravy.
Listen, man, it's crazy what's going on right now. But all I know is we have to be focused, and we wasted a lot of time where there was people. I remember there was people talking about the family structure constantly, building the family structure, all this stuff. And a lot of us just wanted them handouts from the government. So we were disrespecting the fathers of these children. And, you know, some of the fathers weren't stepping up as well. And now them people are feeling it the hardest. You know, when you're in a family, if you're down, a next man can raise you up. I'm telling you that now as a fact. I can phone any one of my siblings right now for anything. Right now. That's a fact. Any one of them, I could pick up the phone right now and ask them if they got it, they're going to give it to me. That's what you call a family structure.
Yes.
This is a relay. A lot of us are forgetting this is a relay. Listen, I'm telling you now, I remember the Christmas play, you know. I remember the Christmas play as a youth, sitting down in the Christmas play. I think I was one of the three wise men. I think I brought some frankincense or myrrh or whatever the thing's called. I was one of them. If that's what they think back in the day, we're talking as a youth.
Yep.
Yesterday, it was my daughter's play. Do you understand? Yesterday, my daughter done her first Christmas play. So what I'm trying to explain to you is, before you blink, you know, you're a big man.
Yes.
I can't stop plucking the grey hairs out my beard. I never had this problem a couple of years ago. Couple more years, people aren't going to be able to hide it. You're just going to start calling man silver fox. Because time waits for no man. So I ain't going to waste time. I'm not going to waste time. And like I said, the sister's doing great work within the community. That has to be remembered. But now, she's being attacked to the point where it's hard on Twitter. Some brothers on Twitter are talking facts. It's hard to disagree. I heard a video earlier where the brother didn't address nothing at all. It was just some emotional stuff. And that's why I said what I said. Yes. That's why I said what I said at the start of the show. Like, I'm fed up with, like, there's too much men that are looking down on others because they may not present themselves a certain way. But if we really start talking the things, them man there can't really, you see what I'm trying to say? Like, it's just getting to the point where we're just starting to lose focus. That's it. We're just starting to lose focus and entertain things that don't really deserve entertaining. Like, there's serious things going on out there, you know. Listen, a brother burnt down a lady's house in Nottingham about, when was that, Noble? About 3 weeks back?
3 weeks, yeah.
My man burnt down a lady's house in Nottingham. I can jump in my car right now and get to Nottingham in 40 minutes. A man burnt down a lady's house with her 2 children in it. Did we give that story?
Barrow is his name.
What's his name, Noble?
Jamie Barrow, 31 years of age.
Did we give that story, and when I say we, as a community, as a collective, did we give that story even 10% of what we've given this story?
Good question.
Did we as a community bring this story to the forefront? Remember, you know, the man has a history of hating Muslims and hating black people. We never brought that story to the forefront. Real racism that a man's acted on. Not words, you know, where we could have cussed to as my dad would say, we could have cussed to dirty bad word, and that woman would have been shaking in her boots. But instead, oh, this big old woman asked me where I'm really from. Sorry, I'm not dissing the sister. I'm, you know what I'm doing.
Yes.
We are not highlighting the real problems. Why are we not talking about that guy? Why are we not talking about who's his brethren? What group does he belong to that may act on that hate in the future? We're not having these conversations, man.
And putting the measures in place to protect self from these wicked beings that have these thoughts and are carrying out these unspeakable acts. They're doing it. It's in the papers. People are going through it, man. People are no longer on this plane of existence because of this madness. Yo, there's nothing wrong with having different views and thoughts and all that. I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. But when you physically do something, you cross the line.
1000%. And that's why I'm saying that I've just gave an example right there. We never highlighted that story the way we highlighted this story, because in that story was real victims that a real racist acted out his hate towards. The media never once labeled it as that. Where was the outrage for that? How many podcasts have spoke about that? Now, just before a man talks and his stupidity, we've spoke about that at length. But guess what? We don't own these platforms. So when you come on these platforms talking certain things, it was against the guidelines, because you're a tenant on these platforms. We had to take our talents to Patreon. Big up the Patreon family. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not into the fake outrage and man trying to look down because I ain't through under the dashiki or locked up my head. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. It's how a man's living that I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. How a man's living. And I'm just fed up of the misguided anger. A lot of misguided anger. A lot of it's going on. And I just feel like we have to be careful. Have to be careful with these. There's too much going on to the point where certain things I can't even say, man. Trust me.
It's tricky on this platform.
Trust me. Certain things I can't even say, man. But I'm just telling you right now. I'm telling you. And any man who was backing Kanye, you can't really even say nothing either, really. I'm being real with you. You can't even really say nothing, because at that time when that Kanye thing was going on, I remember I said to Stephen, I said, yo, it's dangerous what's going on, you know, because everyone's ignoring the Nottingham story and focusing on my man.
Yes.
And that Nottingham story was devastating, man. When you see the picture of the two children, when you see the picture, why wasn't that pushed to the forefront? No one ain't saying nothing.
Hardly anybody. You're right. I'm glad you bring that
where's
point up.
All these podcasts that are winning awards and all this stuff? I'm talking about London, because Brum, we do our thing. Big up all the Brum podcasts. But all them Londoners and all them man from other parts of the country, did you like highlight that? Check it out. Listen to these man's things.
It didn't happen in London, Mark. That's right.
But even if it did happen in London, man's ain't bringing the real topics to the forefront. It's just bare nonsense, man. Bare nonsense. And Mark spends more time telling the victims of racism how to react than focusing on the actual racists.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Please. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? You obviously either knew or I don't even know. Because what are you talking about? This is what I'm trying to say. There's a way to move. I'm not one of them complainers. I'm not one of them people. You see me? If a man don't like me, I prefer a man to say, I don't need no friends. I prefer a man to say, yo, I don't deal with you. I don't like you. I don't like you, whatever. I can know you don't like me and we just stay away from each other. Simple. I'm not into I'm just not a victim person. I've never been that. I'm just not that. I don't want no big job from nothing. I don't want no big job, nothing from nobody, nothing. I'm the kind of man, listen to me, man. I'm an old school brother. Let's put it like that. I don't need no inclusion, none of that. I'm not cut from that cloth. What don't people understand? I'm not cut from that inclusion cloth. I'm cut from that cloth where, all right, safe. You don't want to rent a room. You don't want to rent me a room. Cool. I'll go and do what I need to do. I can't even say certain things on here. But trust me, when man say they're living it, they're living it. Trust me. Trust me. I don't want to hear nothing about no, I'm not victim.
Everybody wants to be liked. That's what it is, man. Everyone has to like everybody. That's what it seems that's relating to. This is not no like contest. And everybody, the reality is, everybody in life who you come across, they're not going to be nice people. Some, trustfully, are going to be some real cool people, but everybody in life ain't cool, you know?
1000%. We just have to just stay. I'm just telling the facts. I just spent 10 minutes talking about the sister with her 2 princesses that were stolen. I just spent nearly 10 minutes highlighting that. How can a man say I'm passionate about these things? That is something important. Not no one asks me where I'm really from. That's not important. And like I said, some of you that need to travel, because when you travel, you're going to get humbled quick. And I'm not talking about Blackpool and Cornwall and all that. I'm not talking about that. And obviously, everyone's in a, you got to, I'm not saying like if you can't afford to travel or whatever. I'm saying when you travel, you will understand what I'm saying. If you land in Thailand, a place that I've been 3 times, if you land in Thailand, yeah, there's not a man walking around Thailand who's going to say, you're English. You tell him you're from England, he's going to laugh. He's going to laugh and say, nah, man, where you really from? What are you going to do, go to the Thai press and say the man asked you where you're really from and you feel offended? They're going to laugh in your face. They're going to laugh in your face. It's starting to become, like kids in school where it's just bit of tattletale, My man done this. My man threw a rubber at me. My man did that. My man did it. That's what the community is starting to look like. Let's keep it real. That's what we started. We're starting to like, we're just complaining.
Saying, listen, hold it, okay? Don't run to people. Don't go tell the tales and all that kind of. If he hits you, hit him back. But outside of that, man, just do your thing.
I'll tell you the next quick story. If you're not a Patreon, you need to be a Patreon. But I'm going to say this, and then we're going to get to the final thoughts. So, I went Gambia with my parents and my sisters a few years back. We went Gambia. And let's say the plane had 300 people on it. Probably like 30 of them were black at the time. And we landed in Banjo. Brand new trainers, brand new tracksuit, hair plait up fresh. You name it, man. You name it. I get into the queue in Banjo, the queue to show your passport. And I say, I need to go toilet. So I'm like, I'm going to go toilet. So I come out the queue to go toilet. Now remember what I said? There was a black family in front of us. We flew from Brum. All right. So I'm in the queue and I come out the queue, go toilet, and when I'm heading back towards the queue, just before I get there, this white lady stops me in my tracks. So I'm like, you all right? She's like, can you help me with my bags? So I'm like, help you with your bags? So I'm like, what you talking about? She's like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like I thought you was like an African. I'm not offended. The black family in front were laughing. I'm not offended at that. Do you see what I'm trying to say? I'm not offended at that. Obviously, I'm saying to myself, don't be stupid. What? No man working on an airport comes to work like this. So you must be stupid or something. But I'd never be offended at a man anyone calling me an African or saying I look like an African. Because the facts are I am African. That's the facts. Mm-hmm. We were stolen from Africa and taken to the West Indies. as they call it. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna try pretend that didn't happen like how much people in the community do. That happened. Noble. Final
Spread
thoughts, man.
across all four corners of this plane of existence, sibling. When they took us from Africa.
There you go. Right, I'm just speaking about my particular.
Oh, of course.
I know
Yes.
certain other men were taken to, different parts of the Caribbean. You get what I mean? But I'm just saying that could never offend me. I remember growing up in Brum. The worst insult you could say to a man was "you black African." The worst insult a man could say to a man. Listen, a man could say anything. You see in my school, a man could say your mom. A man could talk about your appearance. A man could say anything. But the second a man said you're black African, a man's ready to tear out your face, That's what, man. Listen, I'm done. Noble, final thoughts, man. I'm done, man. People, hit the like button, man. How we only got 39? Like, this is part of the thing. Now, I know we're meant to talk about Raheem, but we'll probably come back still.
Yeah, man. We can touch on that next time. But smash the like, especially on the replay. Smash the like, all of that. Comment. Trustfully, this has been insightful, edutaining. It's for someone who's, as I say, stumbled across this here. This is giving you a little bit of a path to a new chain of thought. We're too late in the game, man, to be fucking with this stuff, man. We can't be doing it. Can't be. Everything's crazy at the moment. Everything, If you're home, life is all blessed, and you've got all this extra time to get into this stuff, then by all means. But generally, there's only 24 hours in a day, and we got to sleep for 7 hours at least to be healthy and functional. So, try and be the best version of you every single day. Allow the folly. Don't get drawn into it. Reconnect with self, man. Take off your shoes, and go into the grass and ground yourself. We can't do it now, obviously, because it's winter and stuff. But, when it thaws out, Gregorian year 2023, do the thizzle, man. It's all about you, man. Time is going fast.
Yeah, man. Before we blink right now, it's 2023. Now, remember this. If you look into the media right now, all you're seeing is stories of like people that are depressed and man's, they have to go to food. Just think of why these things are being shown to you. You need to be thinking, like I said, the best analogy that I can make, this life is a relay. We're only blessed to have a certain window here. In a relay, a man runs with the baton. He tries to pick up enough speed and he passes the baton to the next man. And that man does it. That is the game of life. In this time right now, my dad had the baton. I believe the baton's with me now. I feel he's like getting older. Do you know what I'm saying? He's getting older, and the natural progression of things, he's getting older, and I believe like the baton's with me now, and one day I have to give that baton to my youth. Do you see what I'm saying? But I can't waste time with that. I believe my dad didn't waste no time. I can't waste no time. So there's certain things that, we have to understand. And this is not just a black thing. This is any community. There's certain things you have to have an understanding of. You have to. You got to have an understanding. And at the end of the day, the media want you to be the victim. They want you to be the victim. And a lot of us are feeding into that victim mentality of being a victim. And I feel like that has to change. That has to change. It has to. If it don't change, then just be prepared for more of the same. That's it. You'll be at work getting disrespected. You'll be getting disrespected everywhere. And all you'll do is be the victim, and that's it. And just, oh, they said this to me, and certain outlets you run into, they don't even care. Like, this is only being pushed so heavily because the story's being debunked left, right, and center. Twitter are having a fit. I was watching Twitter with secondhand embarrassment, man. I was on Twitter. Some of the things on Twitter were so vile, and she didn't deserve that. But like, when you put yourself on that stage, you see what I'm trying to say? You put yourself on that stage, and when you're on that stage now, people can throw stones, and that's it. That could have been dealt with. We didn't even need to know that happened. That could have been dealt with differently. But that's it, man. People, it's the Express Truth Show. And like I said, man, I'm with it all, man. I'm with everything. Trust me. I'm with everything. It's the Express Truth Show. Making Thursdays great again. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. And that's it, man. We out of here, people. Noble.
Blessed. Hint to the wise should be more than sufficient warning before the destruction.
That's it. We gone, people. It's the Express Truth Show.